Hi friends, it's Deanna here today, and today we are making the True Crush Cardigan pattern from Ellie and Mac, and yeah, so that's what we're doing today. It's pretty cool. It's got a hood. It's got kind of like lapel like right here, so it kind of folds down. There's an option to put a button if you want to put a button on it, and there's options for pockets if you want to do pockets. It's lined, so it's pretty cool. So yeah, we're gonna get started. But before I do, let me remind you about our Fun Fan giveaway, a $50 Ellie and Mac gift certificate. And all you have to do is subscribe to our channel and comment below, and you are entered for a giveaway. So go do that right now so you can be entered. We do it monthly, so that's really good chance for you to win something. Okay, so we're gonna get started. This portion that I'm doing right now, I'm doing it to my outer, but I'm also, you also have to do it to your liner. I already did it to my liner, so that's why I'm not showing it on here, but I'm doing it to both, okay? So I'm gonna grab my back and I'm gonna put it face up on my board. This is the back of my top. And then I'm gonna grab my fronts and I'm gonna place them both right side down on top of the back, making sure that I put the right side to the right side. So see how this one has the arm side, and this is the front straight line, and then the curved armpit arm side. So that's gonna match up on this side. So obviously this one goes on this side. So I'm gonna pin it, and I'm gonna sew that raw edge right there. And then I'm gonna do the same on the other side. I'm gonna sew this raw edge right here. I'm using my serger, but you can use any kind of stretch stitch on your sewing machine. It will be just fine. I'm gonna go ahead and sew those shoulders. Like I said, I'm doing this to my outer, but I'm also going to do it to my liner. This is my outer fabric. I'm using like it's a Liverpool. I got this Liverpool from Olga's Fabrics. I know that I get a lot of questions about where I get my fabric from. So yes. So now that I sewed my shoulders together, I'm gonna put this part aside and I am going to grab my hood. Okay, here's my hood. I'm gonna put it right sides together. This also, I am doing the same thing to my liner. So I'm putting them right sides together. I love how nicely Liverpool sews because it's like a thicker material. So it just like, it's not as flimsy as some knits. It's like a thicker coat. It's not thick, it just has a texture and it's a little bit thicker, so it's kind of nice. It's like a plush, I guess it's kind of like cardboard. I don't know if you can see, it's like the top, it's more kind of like quilted, like a quilted top is kind of what I would think about it. Not super thick, but anyway. So I'm gonna grab my hood and I'm gonna sew from the crown, the top of the crown, all the way around to where the crown ends. You can kind of tell by the fact that then it starts curving in. So that's where I'm gonna stop at that point right there. Well, actually, I'm gonna start at that point since I pinned this way. So now that I have sewn my crown, my scissors are so dull, it's not even funny. Okay, I'm gonna open it up. If you wanna steam that hood so that you have nice non-wavy lines, you can go ahead and do that now. Good thing I opened it because there was a pin there and I wouldn't have noticed it until I sewed both of my hoods together, and that would have been horrible because then I'd have a pin inside my hood and then I'd have to take it apart. Anyway, so you can go ahead and steam that whole thing. My iron had turned off. Come on. I always say steam the seam going the same way all the way around, and that helps give you a smoother crown. Much better. So now I'm going to grab my cardi area and I'm going to meet the shoulder seams and go to the back to find that back point. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my back and I'm going to put it right side up. This is my back of my top, and I'm going to go move all the stuff out of the way, because this is probably better done if you're doing it like on the ground or somewhere where you have more space, because I don't have very much space on here. I'm going to open it up all the way out, so you can see all the way out to where that peak, like it makes a turning like peak. I'll show you. See, on my pattern, it kind of goes like straight and it goes forward, like it goes down and then kind of up like this right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to match up. First of all, here's my hood. Okay, so this is the back of my hood. The back of my hood, the bottom back, I'm going to match up right here at the middle where I matched up, where I marked the center. And then this whole side, I'm just going to go down the side of my right sides together of my top of my cardigan thing, and kind of stretch it out a little bit so that it fits. It's going to go like kind of around like this. So I am stretching to go all the way down to that point, because it's crooked. So it's like you have to kind of turn with it. Not crooked, it's like kind of rounded. So I'll go right here, start right here, and then make sure it all fits nicely. That raw edge, I'm just pinning. See that? I'm pinning that raw edge. I have to stretch it a little bit so it's even, because it kind of, so it lays flat, because it's rounded. That's what it is. Not crooked. I said crooked. I mean kind of rounded. Okay. So I'm going all the way again down to the other side. And I am, this step as well, I am doing with my liner. So I'm doing it with my outer and my liner. If you have to stretch it out a little bit for it to match up. Oh, I think I stretched it too much, because now I'm crazy. I don't know, I'm kind of pulling at it too much. Folding these up, because I'm wearing the Traveler, and it's got like long sleeves, and it's got the thumb holes, which is great for like when you're going out and it's cold. But like right now I'm sewing, so I'm just kind of folding them up. But I love it. If you like looser fitting tops, you would love the Traveler. It's like so comfy. It's got the points at the sides. It's got a cool hood. It is super, super cute. I love it. I love it. Check it out. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and sew up those sides all the way up and all the way down. Again, like I said, I'm doing the same thing to my liner. Exactly the same thing. So let's sew this up. All right. Okay, now that it's sewn together, you can see that this is the front where my hood is, and we've created kind of like the lapel look right there. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and grab our liner, which we already did the same steps to, and we're gonna meet our liner and our outer, our hoods. We're kind of gonna put them right on top of each other, right sides together. It really doesn't matter which one's on top. Yeah. So I'm meeting them right here first at the crown of the hood. Okay, and then I am just placing it right over on top of each other. So I'm gonna meet it at the crown, the hood, and now I'm gonna meet it right here at that seam where we went up to, where we made those lapels, like those front areas. Again, this is right sides together, okay? It is recommended that if you're using a very thin fabric and you wanna use interfacing, like where they meet, you can do that. Or if you just wanna put interfacing, like where you're gonna make your buttonhole, you can go ahead and mark that and put some fusible interfacing. That way it stays nice. All right, so I'm marking up this seam right here and pinning right to the seam. All right, and then I'm going down this like circle, not circle, but like the bottom front where it kind of petals out, meeting them together. I'm doing this for this side, and then I'm gonna go to the other side and do the same thing. And then we're gonna go ahead and sew all the way. All right, so this is my other side. I'm finishing up. And then we're gonna go ahead and sew all the way from one end to the other end. I'll show you. We're gonna sew all the way down. This is my hood. We're gonna sew all the way down one front and then to the other side. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. All right, I have sewn it all the way around, making sure it's all sewn. Okay, now this part, you want to make sure that you do this, because if you don't, then it's going to be really hard to fix it later. Go back and look and make sure that all your seams are cut in as you sewed. If you did a zigzag stitch, whatever you did, just make sure it's all your seams are nice and caught in there, because it's been times where they haven't been. And since this is a lined jacket, you want to make sure that's done before you close it up. Okay, so now I'm going to open it, and I'm going to grab my back. So here's my back liner, putting it right side up on my board, and then I'm going to move the hood and everything out of the way. The hood and everything's right in the middle. I'm gonna grab my back outer and I put it right on top. This is the bottom edge of the back, bottom edge. And I am going to pin them right sides together, and I'm gonna sew them together. And we really just have some of this, sleeves and optional pockets, and we're done. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and sew that bottom together. Make sure that your raw edges are together. There's my iron telling me it's turning off because I've neglected it. But honestly, I will say that we should right now take a minute and steam all our seams. That way they're nice and even. Even this seam right here. Make sure you're not leaving any pins in there. I think I've already found a couple that I'm like, oh goodness. Because especially too, afterwards, if you want to go ahead and top stitch it, you want to make sure that the seam is all kind of going the same way to help your top stitching. So you can take that time and steam. Mine is all pretty much going the right way because of the fact that my Liverpool is heavier than my my liner fabric. So it's kind of pulling it down. All right, so now here it is. Here's my hood. Here's my front area. Okay, it's coming together. You see it? Yes. All right, so I'm grabbing my arm side. This is where my sleeve is gonna go. This is my shoulder seam right here and my sleeve. Now, our sleeves are not lined because this is not reversible. It's not a reversible jacket. Now, if you wanted a reversible one, then you could line your sleeves. If you have questions about that, we do have we have a couple of tutorials that are reversible. We have the Sip It jacket is reversible, and we have the oh goodness, I'm drawing a blank. The Duchess jacket, that's reversible as well. So you can go watch those tutorials and see how we make the sleeves reversible. If you want to do that and make the whole thing reversible. That's the only thing that makes it not reversible, is that the sleeves are not reversible. Okay, I'm gonna grab my sleeve. I'm gonna fold it down the middle to find my top of my sleeve. And I'm going to go ahead and put that top right sides together with my outer fabric. Right sides together to my outer. And I'm gonna meet it right here first at this seam, shoulder seam. This is the shoulder seam right here. So I'm putting this right here on this cap. And I'm gonna go to one side and go down and kind of stretch as I go to fit. You gotta stretch it a little bit to fit all the way. And remember, you're catching both fabrics, liner and outer. So you're gonna have 3 layers to sew together, okay? Because you gotta catch that liner as well. In well. Okay. Make sure that liner comes up and you grab it as well. All right, so I'm gonna sew this together, all 3 layers of my sleeves. See, my sleeve is cut in there. Okay, I'm gonna sew all 3 layers of that sleeve, and then I'm gonna sew the other sleeve on, and we are almost done. Make sure when you're sewing that you have all 3 layers caught in there, and nothing more and nothing less. So move everything else out of the way. You don't want to cut it. All right. Sleeves are on. Okay, we're almost there. It's looking good. All right, now that sleeves are on, we're going to turn it right inside out. Sorry. And I'm going to grab my whole side together, right sides together. And I'm going to match it right here at the armpit seam first. And I'm going to go down the front, obviously catching my 4 layers. My liner, my outer, my liner, my outer, and my liner. Right sides together, matching them up. And there is no way I could keep up with these stripes. If they end up stripe matching, it's gonna be by a miracle, because this was too much matching, and it's gonna be for the inside. And so I said, I'm not going to plan for it. And honestly, anytime that I've had stripe match, it's been like when I don't plan to stripe match, and then they all of a sudden decide to just do it on their own. It's like, really? When I really want something to stripe match, it's like, oh, it's looking good, it's looking good. It like kinks, and all of a sudden they look like, you know, like, do you know what I'm talking about? Like, one matches and then the next one moves a little bit, and then the next one moves a little bit, and before you know, it's like a mess. Okay, I'm putting these on for a little bit so you can see the full effect, how cool they are. And then I'm gonna go down to the end of my sleeve. The end of my sleeve. If you ever wonder about any of what I make, how things look, or you know, you want to see pictures of it, a lot of it is on my, or what I wear, a lot of it is on, I wear on YouTube tutorials, but also if you go on our Facebook page, usually I always post it. So if you look up Deanna Austin, you will find most of my makes on there, and then it'll tell you what they are if you have questions about them. Okay, so I'm gonna sew the side up, and I'm gonna do that to both sides. I'm gonna sew this side and the other side as well, and we are almost done. All we need to do is tuck in the tails, and if we want to do button, and then pockets. Make sure you get all the pins off. Make sure you look and make sure that your seams are all good and cut. Because you don't want them not to be. Okay? I hate stripes. Look at that. How annoying is that? I'm not planning to stripe match, but looking at it, it's pretty good. Okay, 2 things before we move on to pockets. 2 finishing things, but this thing is done. Unless you want to give it a good finish, you want a good steam, and then if you want to top stitch along the edges to give it like a nice sharp look, you can go ahead and top stitch. I might do that. I don't usually love top stitching dressy patterns, but I think it will give it a really, really nice look if you top stitch it all the way around. But another thing we gotta do. Oh man, this is so cool. I love it. Like, look at it. Okay. Hem your sleeves. You're gonna fold over 1/2 inch and steam and hem. Zigzag stitch, double needle. I'm doing my cover stitch. So that's one thing that you have to do. Another thing is, okay, yeah, the top stitching is another thing. And then if you want to, here's the like little lapel things that go down. How pretty is that? And then I'm going to put a button right here. If you want to put a button, go ahead and mark, there's your pattern piece, and you can put your button on. You can mark it, just follow your instructions on your sewing machine on how to do a buttonhole and stuff. I said I'm going to do a button, but I'm not sure, 100% sure if I want to do a button or not, just because I hate doing buttons, but I might. So there's that if you want to do your button. And then pockets. So I'm going to show you how to do your pocket, but let me show you this beautiful thing. How cool is this? I love it. I don't think I'm gonna put pockets on it. If I was, I cut these out, but if I was, I'm going to do them with the floral color, because I think I don't really love, I don't know. I have to think about it. Usually I'll put it on when it's done, and I'll go look in the mirror, take a picture of it, and then put, like, attach the pockets on and take a picture of it and see if I like it. And then if I like it, then I'll attach them. If I don't, then I leave them off. But I'm not thinking I want to put the pockets on, but I'm not sure. Okay, so I'm facing the 2 pockets. So you're going to have 4 pockets, because you're going to have outer liner. That makes 2 pockets. Okay, so you're going to put them right sides together on top of each other like so, and they're right sides together. And then you're going to sew all the way around, leaving a 2-inch gap, preferably somewhere right here at the bottom. Don't do it at the top. And you ask why? Because if you do it at the top, you'll have to top stitch it first and then attach it. But when you're attaching the pocket, you go ahead and top stitch the whole bottom to attach it on. so it doesn't matter. Even though I guess you will top stitch the top two to give it more of an even look, but I'm just going that up, and then I'm gonna turn and go the other way straight. Then I'm gonna turn again. And get out before it's too late. Honestly, this is probably not going to be the best pocket ever because I just kind of rushed it because I'm not using it. Like I said, if I'm doing pockets on this, I think I'm going to do the same floral color. I'm not sure. It's hard for me to make up my mind. Is it hard for you to make up your mind? Do you like, I have to, like, I see it, but then I have to like see it, like the last touches and stuff. I want to make sure like I change my mind and everything. Okay, so now I am going to steam, and this little piece right here where I didn't sew, I'm gonna tuck that in to the seam allowance. Okay, and I'm gonna steam. You might want to use like an orange stick or something like that to make it straight, like really straight. This one's not the straightest. You want to top stitch the top, and then you're gonna grab your pattern piece and match up where your pocket's gonna go on your front. And what I usually do is I grab my pattern piece and I cut, where is it? I have a million pattern pieces. That's the sleeve. This is the back. It's gonna be the last one I grab. Okay. This is the hood. I don't know where it went. This is the front. Okay, here it is. And you're gonna see where the star is, and you're gonna mark the, I'm sorry. Well, yeah, here's the optional button, and then you're gonna see the star, and you're gonna mark it for the pocket. That's the middle of the pocket right here. So then you're gonna put your pocket right on top of there. And you're gonna go back and top stitch all the way around. See, look, actually that looks really cool. I don't know, we'll see. I'll probably just baste it on and see what it looks like, and then make sure if I want to or not. Okay, another thing we had to do, and I almost forgot, is at the bottom where the two seams meet, I am going to grab that tail and put it right over the seam allowance and go back with it a zigzag stitch and sew over it to tuck in that tail. So now that tail is tucked in tight. And then now it's nice and even and straight. Okay, so I'm gonna do the same for the other side. I'm gonna hem my sleeve, and I'm going to top stitch all the way around, and my True Crush jacket is done. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope it was helpful. Please let me know if you have any questions about anything I did. Comment below, comment, like, share, subscribe if you haven't, so you can be entered for a giveaway. Come join us on Facebook or Instagram so you can see what we're making, and we can see what you're making, so you can share it with us. I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.